Hey guys, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host as always, Jay Schatzer. And today I've got a magnificent zombie flick lined up for us that is an absolute masterpiece. It is Michele Soavi's 1994, masterpiece. It is Dellamorte Dellamore. And guys, this one is absolutely surreal. Let's just get into the madness. Here is Dellamorte Dellamore. Dellamorte Dellamore, translated from Italian to Death, Love, is a surreal and highly witty zombie film that is cast in a dreamlike setting while being insanely obscure and wholly demented. Also known as Cemetery Man, this visually breathtaking horror flick is anything but typical. Vastly grotesque and highly unhinged, the film delves into a morbidly told fairy tale filled with the undead, the unloved, and the unsettling combination of the two. With an extremely original premise and an equally unique vision by director Michele Soavi, Cemetery Man is a zombie film that truly strays outside of the confines of the genre in order to make a cinematic experience that is unlike any other. The film follows the fanciful, creepy life of Francesco Dellamorte, a cemetery caretaker who tends the grounds during the day and fights the dead back in their graves during the night. Assisted by his second-in-arms, the oddball Nagy, the two perform a daily ritual to help keep the cemetery respectable while also trying desperately to keep the undead inside the cemetery gates. Everything works to plan until one day a beautiful young widow named She comes to the cemetery to mourn her recently deceased husband. Falling madly in love, Francesco kickstarts an avalanche of problems stemming from his love of the mysteriously alluring woman, and laxing on his normal duties as a caretaker. Chaos ensues as the living begin dying and the dead begin amassing, as Francesco's mental state starts to crumble amongst the overwhelming pressure of love, loss, and duty. Rupert Everett takes on the role of Francesco Dellamorte, the unusual caretaker of the most peculiar of cemeteries. Everett is sensational in the role, bringing about an eccentric idiosyncrasy that completely covers the tone and approach of Soavi's expressive vision. Entirely off the wall and intrinsic to the validity of this fictionalized world, Rupert Everett entirely takes the film by storm, displaying that unbound charisma and trademark charm that he is worldwide known for. Able to balance the comedic aspects with the horror elements, Everett is a perfect fit and a splendid guide through this oddity of a cinematic realm. Paired up with Rupert Everett and the ultimate catalyst that leads this film down a hypnotizing crazy rabbit hole is the super sultry Anna Falchi as the ridiculously tantalizing She. Bathed in mystery and holy scene-stealing, Falchi is the definition of sexy in this fascinating and extremely obscure role. Being the receiver of Dellamorte's uncontrollable affections, she genuinely encapsulates the feminine goddess archetype, as she enthralls and entices in both her acting and actions. In simple, her inclusion in this film is just plain beautiful. As for the overall feel and tone of this cinematic world, it's something of a demented fairy tale. Extremely fanciful and untethered by the trappings of reality, this tale about love, loss, and resurrection is powerfully presented and represented in its expressive characters and over-the-top moments. From Dellamorte's endless ritual of zombie hunting, to his unhinged and surreal killing spree, to Nagy's heartfelt love with a decapitated head, the film relishes in the absurd, while holding it all together with a dreamlike atmosphere that makes it wholly entertaining and completely watchable. With its gruesome horror elements to its haunting tone and sympathetic character study, Dellamorte Dellamore is a unique gem that literally creates movie magic. If you're a fan of surreal cinema that doesn't quite fit into a specific filmic mold, then Cemetery Man is your diamond in the rough. Rupert Everett, Anna Falchi, and Francois Hadji-Lazaro as Nagy are pitch perfect in their roles. Each one brings a fantasy-infused aspect to their character that helps fill out this fictitious world while at the same time entertain in all sorts of different levels. If you're in the mood for a great horror fantasy hybrid that plays by its own rules, then Cemetery Man is the clear choice. It's surreal, cruel, and completely wild, and it is one that will stick in your mind for years to come. Dellamorte Dellamore is one visionary zombie flick. And guys, that is the absolutely outstanding zombie film, Dellamorte Dellamore. In the US, you might know it as Cemetery Man, but it's always Dellamorte Dellamore to me. Guys, hope you enjoyed that one. That is one hell of an awesome film. But that would be all for me today. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you like what I'm doing here. If you do, please like and subscribe. And if you have time, leave a comment below because I'd love to hear from you. But until then, guys, I will see you at the next movie review. Take care.